And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Turn on the tube, what do I see? A whole lot of people crying, don't blame me. They point their crooked little fingers at everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for themselves. Victim of this, victim of that. Your mama's too thin and your daddy too fat. Get over it. Get over it.
Yeah, just some headlines from Freedom's Phoenix. We're going to go over these real quick. There's some of them here. We're going to do it for the video because, I mean, dang, man, you need to know just some of the stuff that's the highlights of the things going on. I got, we put some fun stuff up there, too, and everything like, there's a Spanish woman claims she owns the son now. Filed the right paperwork. It's mine. Say it's not mine. I planted the flag there, whatever, so you get some, she's like, I'm first, I win. And that's a good thing to bring up when they start going to the planets and the moons and so on as private companies. How else did they claim land? The New World was, it's mine, I win. So here you go, boom, I got the sun, it's mine. So and then what are we going to do when China goes to the moon, lands, and say, this half is ours, because we can. Then what do we do? Now, one thing I wanted to bring up while we had the chance, when we had the TSA thing going on, here's a picture. Remember Chris with the AR-15? Yeah. Black man with a gun.
Right. Ooh, it's scary.
He was at, the Fox 10 affiliate here in Arizona. I didn't know this till this weekend. Morpheus put it up. Is that he was at the airport inside by the TSA check-in, people walking in, going in there. He's standing there, Black Chris with his gun, and he's passing out stuff. Well, he's doing bags, whatever the heck he was doing, and the way the news portrayed it was that, police were keeping an eye on him, Well, yeah, but they weren't doing anything. Weren't asking for ID. They weren't hassling them. They weren't, it's Arizona. I told you this would happen. And I'm like, look, man, when the guy comes in, I didn't know Chris was going to go. I mean, it didn't shock me, but, I'm just like, hey, man, I don't speak for Chris. So we had, guns there. Yeah, cool. Then we have, we had this weekend for fun. Somebody had done a TSA calendar. And it's just each month is I assume she's nude because all you see is her skeleton. Turn down the scanner just a little bit, But there were some other posts that we had from doctors, radiology, and scientists, de la whatever, saying, "Man, this is ionizing radiation."
Right.
This is not. This may be good. I remember they called it tunneling flashlights back in 2000 when they were first developing this at Fort Huachuca here. I happened to be at the 20-year reunion, to my high school reunion of my wife in Pennsylvania, and it was an ex-Marine that was working down there, and of course we're at the high school reunion, so he's just dumping all over me. I find that fascinating. Tell me all about it. And at the end of the evening, after 2-3 hours, why are you so interested? I go, because I'm congressional candidate as a libertarian. Oh man. Loose lips, sink ships, So we called some activists down there, and they made a big stinking deal out of this. And it went on. Congressman Colby had to come out and explain and all. Well, this was for looking inside trucks and so on. They have them on the streets now. They're scanning people on the streets, scanning your house. They go, yeah, and what are you going to do about it? So this is, there's a lot of problems with this. So this TSA calendar of, skeletons and poses, I guess, whatever. Then we have one, but they're keeping us safe from Willie Nelson. He was charged with pot possession, 6 ounces in his RV, this weekend, got arrested. So we're all safe. He's in jail now. So then one of the other things is that I put this up. And for those watching the video, you can see that the title of it is Mind Uploading Thoughts. Now, what this is about, 2 MEMS resistors, I guess they call them memory transistor, MEM resistors, a new thing they're calling, can be used for an analog simulation of a synapse. 200 trillion MEM resistors could be a human-level synapse system. MEM resistors can go 1 to 5 nanometers in the form of nanowires. Hundreds of trillions of MEM resistors would be compact. The point is this. It's data. From Star Trek. They are now getting to the point, they have the capacity to have as many synapses in artificial intelligence that can exceed. It's going to be self-aware, and it's going to be Skynet and it's Terminator. You know what? I decide your fate. You guys are a bunch of pain, zap. You know, this is coming, along with robots making robots. I remember in iRobot with Will Smith, he goes, robots making robots. Now, that's just stupid. So that's where we're going. Then we have Homeland Security has just come out. Janet Napolitano, ID, Social Security number will be needed to mail a package as small as 16 ounces. Okay?
What?
Oh, yeah. What, did you think they weren't going to do it? Janet Napolitano set up new Department of Homeland Security shipping restrictions on November 17th, 2010 that blocks the shipping of any non-commercial parcel into the United States that weighs more than 0.9 pounds, under 16 ounces, without first supplying the Social Security number or taxpayer ID number of the recipient of the package. Okay. So if you're getting anything from overseas, all right?
Yeah.
They got to have your Social Security number for it to be addressed to you and get delivered.
Wow. How is that going to work?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep getting expanded. It's going to be then to send it, and then to this, and then to that. I mean, here it comes. This weekend we had a really good article that Powell put up, a senior editor, Powell Gamble, put up on Freedom's Phoenix from Jacob Hornberger. Now, Jacob was Bumper Hornberger, Jacob Hornberger. He was one of the original speakers at our first Freedom Summit. He was our first keynote. And he had made the exact same speech when it was 3 weeks after 9/11. That Sunday of the Freedom Summit is when they started bombing Afghanistan, okay? And it was a speech, and we raised some $400 right there at the summit to get a super VHS to be able to put on and get the internet and get it out in the MP3. One of the guys, Mike Duggar, is a techie guy, could get up on the internet, and this was in 2001. So we were scraping to be able to do that. We had some skills, but his whole thing was, here we go.
Right.
This is, and his article here, Madison was right. He said, James Madison, the father of the Constitution, had a deep insight into the nature of government and public officials. Here's what he said. A standing military force with an overgrown executive will not long be safe companions to liberty. The means of defense against foreign danger have been always the instruments of tyranny at home. Among the Romans, it was a standing maxim to excite a war. Whenever a revolt was apprehended, throughout all Europe, the armies kept up under the pretext of defending have enslaved the people. And I'm not good with the whole grammar, but the point is that he's saying, look, whenever you got a standing military force, they're going to use it at home. And you're just going to be threatening people. It's always in the name of keep me safe kind of thing. So this is, the weekend reading that we had, and how does this come into today? Well, there's just so much stuff going on. We have really interesting things like the British Petroleum incident commander for the Gulf oil disaster conveniently died in a plane crash recently.
Isn't that convenient?
I'm just like, it's just more stuff. And then what are they doing? They're assassinating nuclear physicists in Iran right now. Guys in motorcycles go up, boom, they put a bomb on your window, zoom off, boom, boom. This is, I bet you they don't like it none too much neither. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence.